wonders we can find in this unforgettable city. It seems as if though everywhere you turn, there's something waiting for you. The lovely and iconic architecture, the historic buildings and museums, the amazing statues and sculptures. It truly is the city of love and of plenty of adventure for whoever comes to visit. There's some kind of magic here that makes everyone want to fall in love, as if though somebody had thrown some magical potion into the air that made you see la vie en rose. But don't forget, it's a big city, one of the most well-known capitals of Europe, filled with people from all over the world. That means that no matter what, you're always going to have something to do, somewhere to be, and people to meet. So much goes on here all the time, and I was witness to that. So now, I'm going to tell you my stories. So, I just had like 3 different weird experiences. I took out my ukulele, played 2 chords, and these guys come up to me and they're like, "Oh, you have a mini guitar! That's so awesome! Do you know how to play it? Oh my gosh! I just saw the same mini guitar!" And then they like grabbed it and they started playing it and they were like, "Oh yeah, we can play some music right now!" And I'm like, "What's going on?" I just decided to walk away, and this guy comes up to me with a guitar on his back and tells me, "Oh, you sing really good. You have a good voice." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you so much. I try to play, but I don't think anybody can hear me because there's too much wind." And he's like, "You should come tomorrow. On Wednesday evenings, it gets really nice." And I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna leave tomorrow, so I'm not gonna be able to." I started walking away, and I was playing my ukulele on the way. And then this boat passes by, right? Half of the people on the boat start applauding, and I'm just like, what's going on? Like, they start yelling at me like, "Wow, good job, bravo!" And I'm like, "Thank you." Right afterwards, I'm just walking towards the RER, and this cartoon artist is like, "Are you French? Are you French? Are you French?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not French." He's like, "What, are you American?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'm American." And he's like, "Okay, you speak English?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, hey, can I draw you?" I'm like, no, thank you." He's like, "No, it's just for me. It's just for my collection. It's because I really like your look with your hat and your ukulele. I really like how you look. Please let me draw you." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, whatever." He's like, "Okay, this is how it works. I'm gonna take just 7 minutes, and then after that, you decide if you like drawing or not." And I'm like, can I at least play while you draw me?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." So I started playing, and like people were passing by and they would see him draw me play the ukulele. A lot of people were like taking pictures and taking video, and it was really weird. More than 7 minutes passed, probably like 20 minutes, and I'm here sitting and I'm like, "But I don't have any money." And he was like, "You don't have any money?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "How is this gonna work then?" I'm like, "I have no idea. You can stop drawing me if you want." I'm like, "Dude, you told me it was for your collection." He starts telling me like, "Oh, don't worry, it's okay. We're working out." So I told him, "Oh, just be careful, don't draw my lonjas." He's like, "Lonjas, what is that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a word in Spanish for like the rolls, the fat rolls." He's like, "Oh, that's weird, but okay, it depends. It depends on if you kiss good or bad. Do you kiss good or bad?" I'm like, "Oh no, I kiss terribly." And he's like, "Oh no, then I'm gonna draw a big belly on you. I'm sorry." He starts telling me like, "Oh, don't worry, you'll pay me in kisses, you'll pay me in kisses." But he sounded very serious about it, and I was getting like very uncomfortable. And he was like, "Oh, you can play if you want, you can play." And I was like, "Yeah, I can play, and whatever money I get from playing, then I'll pay it to you for the drawing." He's like, "Do you think that'll work?" I'm like, "I don't know, and we could try." He's like, "Okay, you can play here." And I'm like, "Here? Where you draw?" He's like, yeah. "Put your hat right there and start playing." Yeah, so just a bunch of people strolled by, nobody gave me anything obviously, and he had left, so I like look for him and I'm like, "I have to go, I'm sorry." They're waiting for me back home. And he's like, "Who?" I'm like, "My family." He's like, "Your family? You have your family here?" I'm like, "Well, my host family." He's like, "Oh, don't worry, we can be your host family," and blah blah blah. And I'm like, "No, I'm sorry, I have to go. Yeah, haha. You're so funny, not. Bye." So it was a fun day, but it was very interesting and full of weird people, weird encounters, I would say.
Don't you worry there, my honey. not have any money, but we've got a lot to pay the bills. And maybe I think you're cute and funny. Maybe I wanna do what bunnies do with you. If you know what